Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member Craig, for holding this hearing today, and thank you to all the witnesses for being here and for the sacrifices you made to spend some time with us today. One of the main reasons I ran for Congress is to bring economic activity to Appalachia. Small towns are what make up Southern Ohio, and these towns largely rely on our family farms. That's why Prop 12 is so devastating. It pushes small family farms out of business. The bigger operations can afford to comply with the ridiculous regulations, while smaller farms are forced out of the market, and 96% of the farms in my district are family farms. I'm afraid that Prop 12 will only cause more consolidation in the industry. That means fewer of the next generation coming back to the farm. Mr. Scheidemann, can you talk more about how California's Prop 12 and other similar state regulations will cause further consolidation in the ag industry, and what that would mean for our rural areas like mine that are already seeing continued loss of population?
Yeah, we've touched on this before, but just to say again, the cost of retrofitting facilities, we've talked about how these are generational family farms. And so the facilities they have, just like the knowledge, has been built up over generations. And so the cost of taking one facility and turning it into something not really totally different, but still different, is significant. And I've seen myself and I've seen other friends of mine who've just made a decision, you know what, with the uncertainty, we could build something that's going to end up being wrong if something else gets passed. And so we're just going to sit out for a while and see what happens.
And that can lead to them getting out of the farm business completely.
Completely, yep.
Okay, thank you. The 10th Amendment preserves states' rights to adopt their own ill-advised policies of many kinds, and California has certainly taken full advantage of that. But too often, as with Prop 12, California's bad policies seep out into other states to the detriment of the entire nation. When the Supreme Court issued its flawed decision in the Prop 12 case a few years ago, I think it was a clear sign that it'll be up to Congress to resolve this issue. Mr. Cushman, do you see a case similar to this coming to the Supreme Court in the future, or do you think it's solely on Congress to act?
Thank you for the question. The Supreme Court decision was very, very difficult to understand and parse through. I mentioned earlier that legal scholars have called it a paradox, and they've called it a mess to try to understand. Judges have disagreed on what it means. To reiterate, you need at least five justices to win a case. Of the 9, 6 agreed with our legal theory, 5 agreed we'd established the legal theory, but didn't line up quite right. As to this issue on Prop 12, I do not see this proceeding in the courts anymore. There is a challenge to Massachusetts Question 3, which is First Circuit Appellate Court right now. But on this issue, it seems fairly clear that it's up to Congress to act. Justice Gorsuch's opinion made that very clear, that Congress does have this authority to preempt state laws that it finds are unwise under the Commerce Clause, and so this would be up to Congress to fix right now.
Okay, thank you. Turning to my fellow Buckeye, where we just kind of know we make the best pork, we don't have to talk about it all the time. In your testimony, you dove into the animal welfare side of Prop 12 discussion, and I'm sure one of the common responses we'll hear from certain groups will be how important Prop 12 is because of the issue of animal welfare. But Mr. Hord, can you just dispel some of the myths surrounding the animal welfare piece? Specifically, can you talk about how Prop 12 is actually worse for animal welfare in many cases?
Yeah, thank you, Congressman. We as farmers certainly are concerned about animal welfare, and it's the priority. If we do not take good care of our animals, then that is a detriment to us and our livelihood. So housing, a lot of times, is not determined by a determining factor of animal welfare. There's nutrition, there's animal husbandry, there's different other systems that happen, and so I can't definitively say that animal welfare is the impact of it is any different on our farm, because we care for our animals diligently.
Okay. Thanks again to all of you for being here, and Chairman, I yield back.